A Psychology Guide. Chapter 1. Psychology Guide. Psychology Introduction. Psychology is a field of study distinct from mental health or mental illness. Mental health is a subset of the field of psychology often called abnormal or clinical psychology, dealing with people who have something dysfunctional or negative about themselves. Psychology is the science of studying human life and the human condition. They have expanded it to include animals too, even though that's biology or zoology. Psychology is a field of study, a business, and an industry. People pretend they can study human behavior and learn useful knowledge from it, but you can't, because every individual is unique and every interaction is unique. All the psychobabble in the world cannot help you be anything more than you are in your true nature or predict any situation you might be in. Psychologists fancy themselves as scientists. They come up with silly experiments on how to study people and publish them in their journals. They develop theories and test them. Psychologists diagnose people with their mental illnesses in the DSM. They test intelligence and personality, or at least pretend to. They help patients in hospitals. They help people relax. They help people deal with hard situations and disasters. They help older people adjust. Clinical psychology tries to solve the problems individuals encounter because of their behavior and thoughts. Do people have an unconscious mind? I don't. I know everything about myself. I hide nothing from me. There are things locked away in my long-term memory that I cannot readily access, but it does not mean I am repressing them. Sometimes when I sleep, I dream about things I'm thinking about or problems I'm having, but most of the time it's just junk. You can hire a therapist to help you. You can do things on your own, like learn relaxation techniques. Life can be unfair. It doesn't have to be misery. Compassion and forgiveness are more important than cold clinical analysis. Accept the world's injustice and contempt with patience, and you have found the path to joy. The best psychology is learning to treat others with honesty and forgiveness. Health Psychology Info/behavioral medicine websites. There is a field called health psychology made up of health psychologists who help people cope with illnesses, injuries, and unhealthy lifestyles. All illnesses, diseases, or accidents affect a person's thoughts, and conversely, a person's thoughts affect the ability to heal or at least feel better. Health psychologists want to help sick people heal, help healthy people not get sick, help people deal with chronic illness. Discover exactly what factors in daily life contribute to poor health and illness. I looked through a health psychology textbook. It looked like a regular health advice book. Here's some of what they say. Living a healthy life depends on factors like: get enough sleep, eat breakfast, don't skip it, don't eat between meals, don't be overweight, don't smoke, drink very little alcohol or none at all. There is some evidence that very moderate drinking of alcohol might help your health a little bit. Eat healthy foods. Don't eat fatty, sugary, or processed foods. Be physically active. Avoid accidents. Live a safety-conscious lifestyle. Think about being safe. Change your environment to make it safer. Avoid drugs and chemicals as much as possible. Figure out how to deal with stress. Figure out ways to minimize stress, like get extra keys made in case lose your first set. Don't invest money with anyone but big, established companies. Use smoke alarms, etc. Some stress is good for motivation. Too much exhaust you. Live in an area with few natural disasters and a low crime rate. Mind and body are related. Personality and health affect each other. Type A high-stress personalities have an increased risk for heart disease and other illnesses. Be wary of stress leading to bad coping strategies like smoking, drinking alcohol, eating junk food, etc. Learn relaxation techniques like biofeedback and meditation. Your social networks, people you work with, go to school with and hang around with, will affect your health because you'll copy some of what they do. If you're hanging around with smokers, why not ditch them because they're not helping your health? Depression and feelings of helplessness contribute to getting sick. Anxiety, depression, and anger all contribute to getting sick. Some people need social support to get healthy. If your relative is sick and/or overweight, encourage him to get healthy. It's as easy as printing some pages out of this book, giving them to him or her. A pessimistic outlook contributes to bad health. People who believe they control their own destinies have high general resilience. They believe they can be healthy and heal themselves when sick. Resilient, hardy people have a strong internal locus of control as opposed to others with an external locus of control who believe they are controlled by the forces of society. Emotion-focused coping is helping a disabled or ill person by being friendly and doing some of their tasks for them. Do not catastrophize, which means to tell someone who just got some disease how bad and destructive that disease is. Don't bow to peer pressure to do unhealthy things like smoke, drink, do drugs, have unprotected sex, be anorexic, eat junk food, etc. There are mental techniques to help take your thoughts away from any pain you might be experiencing. Pain is accompanied by an emotional reaction like anger, fear, unhappiness, etc. This reaction can increase pain. Learn to relax while feeling pain. The mixture of emotions and thoughts going on in the brain sends messages to the spinal cord that determines the intensity of the pain. Psychogenic pain is the type of pain that occurs without any obvious physical reasons. Neuralgia is an intense, shooting pain along a nerve, often in the face, for which no physical cause has been discovered. Causalgia consists of a severe burning pain in some part of the body. Phantom limb pain is a pain that is sometimes experienced in a limb that no longer exists. Some holistic healing methods like biofeedback, hypnosis, relaxation, and guided imagery are all about using the mind to help the body. Society can change people's health habits. Look at how the attitude to smoking changed in the past 50 years. List of psychology topics. 1. goodtherapy.org/blog/psychpedia/a-g. A. Aaron Beck. Abandonment. Abilify. Abnormal psychology. Abortion issues. Abraham Maslow. Abstinence. Abstract thinking. Abuse/survivors of abuse. Academic concerns. Acalculia. Acceptance and commitment therapy. Accidental reward. Acetylcholine. Achenbach behavior checklist. Acrophobia. Active imagination. Active listening. Activist burnout. Adaptation. Adderall. Addictions and compulsions. ADHD, inattention. Impulsivity and hyperactivity. Adjusting to change/life transitions. Adlerian psychology/psychotherapy. Adolf Meyer. Adoption/foster care issues. Adrenal glands. Adverse childhood experiences, ACE, questionnaire. Aerophobia. Affirmations. Affordable Care Act. Ageism. Agency. Aggression and violence. Aging and geriatric issues. Agnosia. Agoraphobia. Albert Bandura. Albert Ellis. Alcohol and drug addiction. Alcoholics Anonymous. Alexithymia. Alfred Adler. Alfred Binet. Alfred Kinsey. Altruism. Alzheimer's disease. American Psychological Association, APA. Americans with Disabilities Act. Amnesia. Amygdala. Anafranil. Androgyny. Anergia. Anger. Anger management. Ontonia. Animal-assisted psychotherapy. Anne Jernberg. Anne Weiser Cornell. Anna Freud. Anorexia nervosa. Anthony Greenwald. Anti-anxiety/anti-panic medications. Antidepressants. Antipsychotics. Antisocial personality. Anxiety. Apathy. Aphasia. Applied behavior analysis. Archetype. Aromatherapy. arranged marriage, art therapy, Arthur Janov, ascendant, asexuality, atavan, attachment issues, attention span, authentic movement, autism spectrum, autistic savant, autogenic training, autonomic nervous system, autonomous sensory meridian response, aversion therapy, BF, Skinner, basal ganglia, Batterer intervention, behavior, behaviorism, Benton Underwood, Bernard and Louise Gurney, bias, bibliotane, bibliotherapy, Big Five personality traits, binge drinking, binge eating, bioenergetic analysis, biofeedback, bipolar, birth order, bisexuality, blackout, blended family issues, blunted affect, body image, body integrity identity disorder, BIID, body psychotherapy, body talk system, body-mind psychotherapy, borderline personality, brain waves, brain spotting, brainwashing, breakup, breath work, Brian Gilmerton, bulimia nervosa, bullying, bulletin spar, bystander apathy, cancer, career counseling, caregiver issues/stress, Carl Jung, Carl Rogers, Carl Whitaker, Carol Gilligan, case study, catalepsy, catharsis, Celexa, cerebral palsy, chakra, Charlotte Bueller, child and adolescent issues, child protective services, childhood sexual abuse, chorea, chronic illness/disability, chronic pain, circadian rhythm, classical conditioning, claustrophobia, clean language, symbolic, modeling and the metaphor therapy, client confidentiality, client-directed outcome-informed therapy, clomidons, closure, closeril, coaching, codependency, cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive distortion, cognitive impairment, coherence therapy/depth-oriented brief therapy, collaborative couple therapy, collaborative therapy, collective unconscious, coma, commitment issues, communication problems, comorbidity, compassion, compassion fatigue, compassion-focused therapy, competitiveness, complementary and alternative medicine, CAM, compulsion, compulsive lying, compulsive spending/shopping, compulsory heterosexuality, concrete thinking, confabulation, confidence, conflict resolution therapy, conformity, consciousness, constructivism, contemplative psychotherapy, continuing education, continuum, control issues, control mastery theory, conversion therapy, coping mechanisms, coprolalia, core energetics, core process psychotherapy, corpus callosum, cortisol, counselor, countertransference, couples, counseling, courage, craving, creative blocks, creativity, critical incidents stress debriefing, cults, culture, cutting, cyclothymia, cymbalta, cynophobia, dance/movement therapy, Daniel Siegel, Daryl Baim, date rape, defense mechanisms, de-individuation, déjà vu, delirium, delusion, delusion of grandeur, dementia, denial, dental phobia, dependency, depression, depth hypnosis, Depth therapy. Derealization. Determinism. Detoxing. Developmental model of couples therapy. Developmental needs meeting strategy. Developmental psychology. Dexedrine. Diagnosis. Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, DSM. Dialectical Behavior Therapy. Dianaphosia. Dmitry Uznets. Direct communication. Disorganized speech. Disorientation. Dissociation. Distance therapy/phone therapy. Divorce/divorce adjustment. Domestic violence. Donald Meschenbaum. Donald Winnicott. Dopamine. Drama therapy. Dream analysis. Dream work. Drug and alcohol addiction. Dual diagnosis. Dual relationship. Duty to warn. Dyadic developmental psychotherapy. Dyslexia. Dyspareunia. Dysphoria. Dysthemia. Dystonia. Eating and food issues. Echolalia. Echopraxia. Ecotherapy/nature therapy. Edward Jones. Edward Thorndike. Affexor XR. Ego. Ego state therapy. Egomania. Elabel. Elder abuse. Electrocomplex. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Embarrassment. Emil Krepelin. Emotion. Emotion-focused therapy. Emotional abuse. Emotional freedom technique. Emotional intelligence. Emotional overwhelm. Emotional transformation therapy, ETT. Emotionally focused therapy copyright. Empathy. Emptiness. Empty nest syndrome. Endorphins. Energy psychology. Enlightenment. Enneagram. Envy. Epigenetics. Epilepsy. Episodic memory. Equality. Equine and animal-assisted psychotherapies. Erectile dysfunction. Eric Byrne. Eric Fromm. Eric Erickson. Erickson's 8 stages of development. Erotomania. Erythrophobia. Ethnicity. Eugene Gendlin. Euphoria. Evidence-based treatment, EBT. Evolutionary psychology. Exercise addiction. Exhibitionism. Existential psychotherapy. Exorcism. Expectation. Explicit memory. Exposure therapy. Expressive arts therapy. Extroversion. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy, EMDR. F. False memory. Family. Family attachment narrative therapy. Family constellations. Family of origin issues. Family problems. Family systems therapy. Family therapy. Favoritism. Fear. Feldenkrais method. Felt sense. Female genital mutilation. Feminism. Feminist therapy. Feral children. Fertility issues. Fetal alcohol syndrome. Fetish. Fibromyalgia. Fight or flight. Filial therapy. Flashbacks. Flight of ideas. Florence Denmark. Flynn effect. Focalizing. Focusing. Forensic psychology. Forgiveness. Francine Shapiro. Free association. Freudian slip. Friedrich Froebel. Friedrich Nietzsche. Friendship. Fritz Perls. G. GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. Gambler's fallacy. Gambling addiction. Gardner Murphy. Gaslighting. Gender. Gender dysphoria. Giadon. George Ainsley. Gerda Boyesen. Gestalt therapy. Glutamate. Gordon Allport. Gottman method. Gratitude. Gregory Bateson. grief, loss, and bereavement. Group therapy. Groupthink. Guided meditation. Guided therapeutic imagery. Guilt. H. Habit. Habituation. Hakami experiential psychotherapy. Hal and Sidra Stone. Haldol. Halfway house. Hallucination. Hallucinogen. Hanna Kwiatkowska. Hans Eysenck. Happiness. Harleen Anderson. Harry Harlow. Harry Levinson. Harry Stack Sullivan. Harville Hendricks. Hatred. Hawthorne effect. Healing touch. Health/illness/medical issues. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. Heinz Kohut. Helplessness/victimhood. Heterosexuality. Heuristic. Hippocampus. HIV/AIDS. Hoarding. Holistic psychotherapy. Holographic memory resolution. Holotropic breath work. Home-based therapy. Homeostasis. Homesickness. Homophobia. Homosexuality. Hope. Hopelessness. Hormone. Human Givens. Humanistic psychology. Humiliation. Humor. Hyperactivity. Hypersexuality. Hypersomnia. Hypervigilance. Hypnotherapy. Hypochondria. Hypothalamus. Hypothesis. Hysteria. iMessage. ID. Ideas of reference. Identity issues. Illusion. Imaginary friends. Imagination. Imago relationship therapy. Implicit memory. Imprinting. Inadequacy. Incest. Indiral. Indirect communication. Individual therapy/psychotherapy. Individuation. Inez Beverly Prosser. Inferiority complex. Infertility. Infidelity/affair recovery. Informed consent. Inner critic. Insanity. Insecurity. Insomnia. Insukimberg. Integral psychotherapy. Integration. Integrative body psychotherapy. Intellectual disability. Intelligence. Intensive short-term dynamic psychotherapy. Internal family systems. International classification of diseases. Internet addiction. Interpersonal neurobiology. Interpersonal psychotherapy. Interplay. Intersex. Intervention. Intimacy. Introjection. Introversion. IQ test. IRA Progoff. Irritability. Irvin Yalom. Irving Janis. Isolation. Ivan Pavlov. Jack Lee Rosenberg. Jacob Moreno. Jacques Lacan. Jaffe V. Redmond. James Framo. J. Haley. Jealousy. Jean Piaget. Jerome Kagan. Job burnout. Joe Griffin. Johannes Schultz. John Bowlby. John Dewey. John Gottman. John Grinder. John Money. John Stuart Mill. John Teasdale. John Watson. John Kabat-Zinn. Joseph Brewer. Journal therapy. Journey therapy. Judith Cohen. Judith Lewis Herman. Jungian psychotherapy. Karen Horney. K. Redfield Jameson. Kindness. Kinsey Scale. Klonopin. Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Kristen Neff. Kurt Lewin. L. Laissez-faire leadership. Lamech Tal. Lateralization. Lawrence Kohlberg. Leadership. Learning difficulties. Leon Festinger. Lev Vygotsky. Lexapro. LGBTQ issues/gender identity and sexual orientation. libido, librium, life purpose, lifespan integration copyright, Likert scale, limbic system, Lisa Firestone, lithium, Little Albert experiment, lobotomy, locus of control, logical fallacy, logotherapy, loneliness, longitudinal research, loxetin, love, lucid dreaming, Lavox, macropsia, magical thinking, malingering, mania, manipulation, mantra, Margaret Floy Washburn, Margaret Mahler, Margaret Mead, Margaret Naumburg, Mark Williams, marriage counseling/couples counseling, Marsha Linehan, Mary Ainsworth, Mary Whitten Calkins, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, masochism, media psychology, mediation, meditation, Melanie Klein, Mel Arrell, memory, menopause, men's issues, Mental Health Parity and Addiction Equity Act, MIPA, mental illness, mental retardation, Michael Pikukai, Michael White, Michael Yapko, microaggression, micromanagement, micropsia, midbrain, Middendorf breath experience, midlife crisis, migraine headache, Mihaliksikzent Mihalii, military and veterans issues, military resiliency training, Milton Erickson, mimicry, mind, mindfulness-based interventions, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, misogyny, mnemonics, mobbin, money and financial issues, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOIs, monogamy, mood, mood swings, moral injury, Moshe Feldenkrais, motivation, motivational, enhancement therapy, movie therapy, multicultural concerns, Munchausen syndrome by proxy, Murray-Bowen, music therapy, Myers-Briggs personality test, misophobia, mythomania, Nancy Codoro, narcissism, narcolepsy, narrative therapy, Nathan Ackerman, nature vs. nurture, Navana, needle phobia, needy, negativity, negativity bias, nepotism, neurofeedback, neuroplasticity, neuropsychology, neurotransmitter, neurolinguistic programming, night terror, nightmare, Noam Chomsky, non-monogamous relationships, nonverbal communication, nonviolent communication, Norpramin, Obamacare, Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, obesity, object relations, objectification, observer bias, obsessions and compulsions/OCD, ocular migraine, Oedipal complex, Oferzur, Olmsted decision, online disinhibition effect, online therapy, ophidophobia, oppositional and defiant behavior in children and teens, oppression, optimism, organizational psychology, orgasmic disorder, orthorexia nervosa, auto-rank, overvalued idea, oxytocin, PAH, palliative care, Pamela, panic/panic attacks, pansexuality, paranoia, paraphrenia, parasympathetic nervous system, parent work, parent-child interaction therapy, PCIT, parenting, Parkinsonism, passive aggression, Pat Ogden, pathological lying, pathologizing, patience, Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, Paul Ekman. Paxil. Pedophilia. Peer pressure. Peggy Pace. Penis envy. Perfectionism. Performance anxiety. Persistent depressive disorder. Person-centered therapy, Roach Ryan therapy. Personality. Persuasion. Pessimism. Pesso-Boyden system psychomotor. Peter Levine. Phantom limb. Philip Zimbardo. Philosophy. Phobias. Phone therapy. Physical abuse. PI-PS. Pica. Placebo effect. Play therapy. Pleasure principle. Poetry therapy. Political psychology. Polyamory. Polyandry. Polygamy. Polyphagia. Polytheism. Positive psychology. Positive psychotherapy. Possibility therapy. Postpartum psychosis. Post-traumatic stress/trauma. Postpartum depression. Poverty. Poverty of content. Poverty of speech. Power. Pragmatic/experiential therapy for couples. Preconscious. Prefrontal cortex. Pregnancy and childbirth. Prejudice/discrimination. Premarital counseling. Premature ejaculation. Premenstrual syndrome, PMS. Presenting problem. Pressured speech. Priming. Private practice. Privilege. Procedural memory. Process-oriented psychology. Procrastination. Projection. Prolixin. Propaganda. Prosocial behavior. Prozac. Pseudodementia. Pseudologia fantastica. Psyche. Psyched out. Psychiatric nurse practitioner. Psychiatrist. Psychiatry. Psychoanalysis/modern psychoanalysis. Psychobabble. Psychodrama. Psychodynamic therapy. Psychoeducation. Psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. Psycholinguistics. Psychologist. Psychology. Psychopharmacology. Psychophysical therapy. Psychosexual development. Psychosis. Psychosurgery. Psychosynthesis. Psychotherapy. Psychotropic medication. PsyD. Purging. Q. Quality of life. Quantitative data. Queer. R. Racism. Radiant heart therapy. Radical acceptance. Rageaholic. Random act of kindness. Random sample. Rape. Rational emotive behavioral therapy. Rationalization. Raymond Cattell. Reality testing. Reality therapy. Reasoning and rehabilitation. Recidivism. Redecision therapy. Regression. Regression therapy. Regret. Rehab. Reichian breath work. Rejection. Relapse. Relational life therapy. Relational psychotherapy. Relationship enhancement therapy. Relationships and marriage. Relaxation. Religious issues. Repression. Resentment. Residential treatment and hospitalization. Resilience. Reverse psychology. Richard Bandler. Richard Olney. Richard Schwartz. Right use of power. Risperdal. Ritalin. Ritual abuse. Robert Firestone. Robert Keegan. Roger Callahan. Roach Ryan therapy, person-centered therapy. Roll. Rollo-May. Ron Kurtz. Rorschach test. Rubenfeld synergy method. S. Sadness. Salvador Minuchin. Sand tray therapy. Satir transformational systemic therapy. Scapegoat. Schadenfreude. Schema therapy. Schizophrenia. School counseling. Scientific method. Scott Miller. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD. Seizure. Selective mutism. Selective norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, SNRIs. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. Self. Self-psychology. Self-relations. Self-acceptance training. Self-actualization. Self-care. Self-compassion. Self-confidence. Self-criticism. Self-doubt. Self-efficacy. Self-embedding. Self-esteem. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-harm. Self-love. Self-serving bias. Selfishness. Sensitivity to criticism. Sensoromotor psychotherapy. Serox. Serentil. Serocal. Serotonin. Sex addiction. Sex education. Sexism. Sexting. Sexual assault/abuse. Sexual anorexia. Sexual orientation. Sexuality/sex therapy. Shamanic journeying/psycho-shamanic. Shame. Shell shock. Shock. Short-term memory. Sigmund Freud. Sinquan. Singlehood. Skinner box. Sleep disorders. Sleepwalking. Smoking cessation. Social anxiety/phobia. Social norms. Social psychology. Social status. Social work. Socialization. Sociology. Solomon Asch. Solution-focused brief therapy. Somatic experiencing. Somatic psychotherapy. Somatization. Soul-centered psychiatry. Speech pathologist. Speech pathology. Spirituality. Sport/fitness psychology. Spousal abuse. Stage fright. Stalking. Stanford Prison Experiment. Stanley Milgram. Stelazine. Stephen Ceci. Stephen Gilligan. Stereotype. Steve Andreas. Steve DeShazer. Stephen Vasquez. Stigma. Stimulants. Stockholm Syndrome. Stonewalling. Stress. Stupor. Stuttering. Subculture. Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, SIDS. Sue Johnson. Suicide. Sula Wolf. Sundowning. Superego. Surmontal. Survivor guilt. Susan Aposhian. Sympathetic nervous system. Synapse. Systems theory/therapy. T. Taboo. Tad and Adriana James. Tangentiality. Tantrum. Tarasoft B. Regents. Tardive dyskinesia. Technophobia. Temporal lobe. Temptation. Tend and befriend. Tenormin. Tension. Terminal illness. Terrible twos. Terry Real. Theodore Roshak. Theory. Therapeutic impasse. Therapeutic relationship. Theraplay. Thorazine. Thought blocking. Thought disorder. Thought field therapy. Thought withdrawal. Tick. Timeline therapy registered. Tofrenal. Trance. Transactional analysis. Transference. Transgender. Transpersonal psychotherapy. Transavistism. Tranxene. Trauma. Trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. Trauma Relief Unlimited, TRUE. Traumatic brain injury, TBI. Treatment plan. Triangulation. Trichotillomania. Tricyclics. Trigger. Trilophone. Trust issues. Trypanophobia. 12-step program. U. Unconditional positive regard. Unconscious. Underdog. v. Vaginismus. Valium. Values clarification. Verbigeration. Vicarious trauma. Viktor Frankl. Virginia Axline. Virginia Johnson. Virginia Satir. Vivactyl. Voice dialogue. Voice therapy registered. Voyeurism. Vulnerability. W. Walter Kempler. Wellness. Wilderness therapy. Wilhelm Reich. Wilhelm Wundt. William Glasser. William James. William Masters. William Ronald Fairbairn. Window of tolerance. Wisdom. Withdrawal. Women's issues. Workplace issues. Worry. Worthlessness. X. Xanax. Xenophobia. Y. Yoga therapy. Young adult issues. Z. Zeigarnik effect. Zindel-Siegel. Zoloft. Zone of proximal development. Zyprexa. List of psychology topics 2. Guide to psychology.com/topics.htm. A. Abortion and PTSD. Abortion and trauma of fragmentation. Abortion, trauma support. Abuse, child, see child abuse. Abuse, childhood, support groups for survivors. Abuse, distinguished from punishment, in families. Abuse, substance-related. Abusive lovers. Accident trauma. ACOA issues and treatment for depression. Acting out, adolescent. Acting out, defense mechanism. Activism, social. Acute stress disorder. Addictions. Addiction, sexual. Address, Dr. Richmond. ADHD. Adjustment disorder. Adolescent identity. Adolescent loneliness. Adolescent risk-taking. Adolescent violence. Aerodynamics. Affection, physical, in families. Affiliations, Dr. Richmond. Agency needs take precedence over client needs. Aggression, psychological cause of. Agoraphobia. AIDS. Aircraft flight facts. Alcohol abuse, psychotherapy for, following initial treatment. Alexithymia. Alliance, therapeutic. Altitude sickness. Amnesia, dissociative. Amputation and anxiety. Anal personality. Analytical psychology of Carl Jung. Anarchy. Anger. As cause of illness. Anger at a therapist. Anger at God. Anger at parents. Anger, in families. Anger, managing. Anger, repressed and depression. Animus/animus. Anorexia nervosa. Anyway, attributed to Mother Teresa. Anxiety, possible medical causes. Anxiety, types and symptoms. Apathy. Argumentativeness. Assessment, psychological. Attachment, reactive attachment disorder. Attraction, romantic/sexual, between therapist and client. Autogenics training. Aviation disasters, support. Aviation links. Aviation medicine. Aviation psychology. Aviation and stress. B. Battered women syndrome. Beck, Aaron. Becoming a psychologist, advice. Behavior, techniques to increase or decrease. Behavioral therapy. Bereavement. Biofeedback, explained. Biological psychology. Bioterrorism and mental trauma. Bipolar disorder. Black sheep of a family. Blame, as a negative thought process. Blame, as a part of victim anger. Blame, compared to sorrow. Blaming parents is not a part of psychotherapy. Blushing. Board of Psychology's licensing exams. Boards of Psychology in US and Canada, contacting. Bodily fragmentation. Body mass index, BMI, calculator. Borderline personality disorder distinguished from DID. Borderline personality disorder, treatment of. Boulder model of psychological training. Boundaries, psychological. Bribery, often substituted for real love. Brief psychodynamic psychotherapy. Buddhism, Zen, and meditation. Bulimia nervosa. Bullying. C. Castration anxiety. Catharsis and anger. Cause, types of, in psychology. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Centering prayer. Change, psychological, the basis for changing negative thinking. Changing unwanted behavior with autogenics. Chastity. Child abuse, definition and indicators. Child abuse and identification with the aggressor. Child abuse, mandated reporting law in CA. Child abuse and multiple personalities. Child abuse, repressed memories of. Child abuse and revictimization in adulthood. Child abuse and suicide. Child abuse survivors, support. Child abuse and trauma. Child abuse, distinguished from punishment. Child psychology. Choosing a psychologist. Chronic fatigue. Citing pages from this website in a research paper. Classical conditioning. Clergy and sexual scandal. Clinical psychology, definition and short history. Clinical records. Coaching. Defined. Codependence. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive psychology and changing negative thoughts. Cognitive and experimental psychology. College courses, in becoming a psychologist. Communication, family. Compulsions, defined. Complaints about a psychologist. Conduct disorder. Confidentiality, in treatment. Confidentiality, loss of, in managed care. Conflicts, unconscious. Consultation with Dr. Richmond, basic information. Consumer rights. Contact me. Control mastery therapy. Control and stress. Convenience, the illusion of. Conversion disorder. Counseling psychology. Counseling compared to psychotherapy, ethics. Counselor/counseling, defined. Counter-conditioning. Counter-transference. Courtly love. Credentials, Dr. Richmond's. Criminal activity and therapeutic confidentiality. Criminal psychology. Cutting and self-mutilation. Cutting and self-mutilation in borderline personality disorder. Cyclothymic disorder. D. Dark night of the soul. Death and despair. Death and dying, stages. Death, in families. Death wish. Debriefing, trauma, CISD. Deception, desire and love. Deception and lying by professionals. Decompression sickness and flying. Deep muscle relaxation. Defense mechanisms, psychological. Degrees, PhD, PsyD, MD, etc. Dehydration and fatigue. Delusions. Denial of dysfunction in families. Denial, defense mechanism. Dentistry, psychological applications. Dependence, substance-related. Depersonalization disorder. Depression, possible medical causes. Depression, signs and symptoms. Depression, psychological origins. Depression, distinguished from spiritual purgation. Desire and identity. Desire and love. Desire, distinguished from want. Desire of the other. Desire of the psychotherapist. Desire, psychological. Despair and death. Developmental psychology. Diagnosis, clinical. Disasters and mental health. Discipline, parental. disillusionment, displacement, defense mechanism, dissociation, non-pathological, dissociation, support groups, dissociative disorders, dissociative identity disorder, DID, aka MPD, divorce, domestic violence, draw a person test, dream interpretation, dreams, traumatic, drug, medication, information, dysthymic disorder, ear pain while flying, eating disorders, educational psychologist, educational requirements for becoming a psychologist, ego states, elder abuse/dependent adult abuse, mandated reporting law in CA, electromyography, Ellis, Albert, email, to Dr. Richmond, EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMG, emotions, as the basis for therapeutic work, emotions, a helpful list of, empathy, defined, Enneagram, entertainment, violent, enuresis, Erickson, Milton, and hypnotic technique of confusion, Erickson, Eric, erotic feelings, transference, for a therapist, evil, talking to children about, exceptions to confidentiality, existential psychotherapy, expectancy, in hypnosis, F. Family communication, family scapegoat, family therapy, family violence, fantasies, sexual, father, the role of a, fatigue, chronic, fear, fear of flying, general information, fear of flying and systematic desensitization, fear of flying, treatment options, fear of love, fear of psychotherapy, flight training and fear of flying, forensic psychology, forgiveness, forgiveness and anger, fraud and deception of the social world, free association, Freud, the death instinct, Freud, dream interpretation, Freud, the unconscious, friendship, with a psychotherapist, desire for, fugue, dissociative, G. Gambling, pathological, games, in psychotherapy, gender-based communication bias, gender identity disorder, Gestalt psychotherapy, gifts, as bribery to feel loved and accepted, gifts, given to a psychotherapist, grief, bereavement, group psychotherapy, guilt, H. Hair, pulling out, trichotillomania, hallucinations, happiness, desire for, hate, as flip side of love, hate, defined, health effects of chronic stress, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, health issues and psychological treatment, health problems and unconscious psychological causality, health psychology, Hell, Dante's Journey to Hell, living, Hell, psychological, Hell, the slippery slope to Hell, Saint Teresa of Avila's vision, herbal remedies, interactions with psychiatric medications, hero's journey, the high blood pressure, non-medical treatment, highly sensitive persons, history of clinical psychology, HIPAA, often misnamed HIPAA, HMO Consumer Complaints Hotline, homosexuality, honesty in psychotherapy, hope, house tree person test, hugs and physical contact in psychotherapy, humility, defined, humor, hypertension, hypnosis, can invalidate legal testimony, hypnosis, defined, hypnosis and cognitive psychology, hypochondriasis, hypomania, hypothyroidism, hypoxia, lack of oxygen, and fatigue, hypoxia and fear of flying. I. Impulse control disorders. Impulse control disorders, possible medical causes. Identification with the aggressor. Identity and loneliness. Illness, caused by anger and hostility. Illusions, of personal identity. Illusions, psychiatric, definition of. Incubus. Industrial organizational psychology. Infancy and bodily fragmentation. Ink blot test, Rorschach. Insanity, defined. Insurance, for treatment. Insurance and managed care. Interactions, psychiatric meds and herbal remedies. Intermittent explosive disorder. Introduction to this website. IQ, defined. J. Jealousy. Jetlag. Judgmental. Jung, animus/animus. Jung, children and parents conflicts. Jung, rebirth. Jung, the unconscious. Jungian psychotherapy. K. Kleptomania. Kubler-Ross, stages of death and dying. L. Language and psychology, see Lacan. Language, issues in psychological testing. Late for appointments, always being. Laws regarding confidentiality, in CA. LCSW license. Legal issues of psychology. Licenses for practicing psychotherapy. Licensure exams for psychology. Licensure for a psychologist. Lie detection. Lies and hypocrisy. Limits of psychology. Locus of control. Loneliness. Loss of soul. Love, courtly. Love, true. Love and sexuality. Lucid dreaming. Lust as an expression of anger at the father. Lust compared to love. Lust in psychotherapy. Lying by professionals. Lying, deception and love. Lyme disease. M. Malingering, defined. Managed care issues. Mania/manic episode. Mania, treatment. Manipulation, in borderline personality disorder. Manipulation, in common love. Manipulation, in families, as a factor in the erotic transference in psychotherapy. Manipulation, feeling of, in dreams. Manipulation, in a passive-aggressive personality. Manipulation, as violence in families. Marriage. Marriage and family therapy. Martyrdom. Masochism. Medical factors affecting psychology. Medication issues in psychology. Meditation. Melodrama in psychotherapy. Memories, repressed. Menopause, early. MFT license. Milgram, Stanley. Mindfulness meditation. MMPI. Mood disorders. Mood disorders, possible medical causes. Morgellons disease. Mourning, bereavement. Multiple personalities. Myers-Briggs type indicator. Mysticism. N. Negative hypnosis. Negative reinforcement. Negative thoughts, changing. Negative transference. Neuropsychology. Neutrality, therapeutic. Nightmares, childhood. Nightmares, following trauma. Non-pathological dissociation. O. Obesity. Object relations theory. Obsessions, defined. Obstructive sleep apnea. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. OCD and suppressed fantasies of revenge. Office location. Office policy/treatment consent form. Open-ended questions. Operant conditioning. Oppositional defiant disorder. Other applications of psychology. Other, the, in Lacan's philosophy of psychoanalysis. P. Pain management. Pain medication issues. Panic attack. Paranoid personality disorder. Parasympathetic nervous system. Passive-aggressive personality. Pastoral counseling. Pathological gambling. Pathological lying. Positive reinforcement. Peace of mind. Peace, social. Pecking order. Pedophilia. Peer pressure. Performance enhancement. Personality changes, possible medical causes. Personality disorders. Personality, the illusion of. Personal psychotherapy for psychotherapists. Perversion. PhD degree in clinical psychology. Phobias, described. Phobias, self-treatment. Physical affection, in families. Politics and psychology. Polygraph. Pornography. Positive reinforcement. Postpartum depression. Post-traumatic stress, PTSD. Prayer. Prejudice. Premature forgiveness. Pride and anger. Pride and identity. Privacy policy of this website. Private practice. Pros and cons. Privilege, confidentiality. Progressive muscle relaxation, PMR. Projection, defense mechanism. Projective identification, defense mechanism. Psychiatrist, defined. Psychic premonitions in dreams. Psychoanalysis, defined. Psychoanalysis, description of treatment. Psychodynamic psychotherapy. Psychological death. Psychological assessment/testing. Psychological assistant. Psychological change, the basis for. Psychological treatment, types of. Psychologist, defined. Psychologist, how to become one. Psychologist, licensure. Psychology and psychiatry, differences. Psychology and religion. Psychology, CA psychology licensing exams. Psychology, clinical and counseling. Psychology, various fields of. Psychotherapy and counseling. Psychotherapy, distinguished from counseling, an example. Psychotherapy, defined. Psychotherapy, fear of. Psychotherapy notes. Psychotherapy, personal, in student training. Psychotherapy, questions and answers about. Psychotherapy, terminating. Psychotherapy. Theoretical approaches. PsyD degree. PTSD, defined. PTSD, symptoms and coping. Punishment, parental. Pyromania, fire setting. Q. Questions and answers about psychotherapy. R. Rape as revictimization. Rationalization, defense mechanism. Reaction formation, defense mechanism. Reactive attachment disorder. Reciprocal inhibition. Reconciliation distinguished from forgiveness. Records, treatment, your chart. Reinforcement, behavioral, positive reinforcement distinguished from negative reinforcement. Relationship, therapeutic. Relaxation techniques, described. Relaxation training, self-taught autogenics. Relaxation training, self-taught progressive muscle relaxation. Religion and psychology. REM sleep and dreaming. Repetition. Repressed memories. Reprogramming. Research in psychology. Resistance, clinical. Revenge and anger. Risk-taking behavior. Risk-taking behavior, in adolescence. Ritual abuse of children. Romance. Romantic/sexual attraction between therapist and client. Rorschach test. S. Salary of a psychologist. Schizophrenia, distinguished from did. Schooling/coursework required to become a psychologist. School psychology. School violence. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-hypnosis. Self-image, illusory. Self-mutilation. Self-mutilation in borderline personality disorder. Self-sabotage and anger. Self-sabotage and despair. Sensitive persons. Services, length of. Services, payment for. Services, risk involved. Sexual abuse, child, repressed memories of. Sexual abuse by clergy. Sexual abuse, defined. Sexual contact with a psychotherapist. Sexual dysfunction, possible medical causes. Sexual fantasies. Sexual images in dreams. Sexuality and love. Shame and anger. Shame and depression. Shekinah. Shift lag. Side effects of medications. Silence in psychoanalytic treatment. Skinner, B.F. Sleep disorders, possible medical causes. Sleep terror. Smoking cessation, self-help. Social psychology. Social work, MSW degree and LCSW license. Somatization disorder. Sorrow, compared to blame. Soul. Special, feeling that you are special in psychotherapy. Spiritual healing. Spiritual issues in psychological treatment. Spirituality and psychology. Splitting, defense mechanism. State Board of Psychology, in any state of U.S. Stem cell research, embryonic, social and psychological trauma of. Stockholm Syndrome. Stress, explanations and coping. Stress, post-traumatic. Stress, relaxation training, self-taught. Stuttering. Substance abuse/dependence. Suicide and child abuse. Suicide, discussing fantasies of, in psychotherapy. Suicide, psychological reasons. Support groups for abortion trauma, aviation disasters, child abuse, dissociation and general trauma. Sympathetic nervous system. Symptom, defined. Systematic desensitization, defined. Systematic desensitization, self-taught. T. Tarasov duty to warn. TAT, thematic apperception test. Tattoos. Termination of psychotherapy. Terrorism and psychology. Testing, psychological. Then ADOS, the death instinct. Theoretical approaches to psychotherapy. Therapeutic distance/neutrality. Therapeutic relationship/therapeutic alliance. Thoughts, negative, changing. Time out and disciplining children. Tooth, loss of and anxiety. Trance and hypnosis. Transference, clinical. Transvestic fetishism. Trauma, defined. Trauma and identity. Trauma, treatments and coping strategies. Traumatic nightmares. Traveler's thrombosis and fear of flying. Treatment length. Treatment records. Treatment records, after termination. Trichotillomania, hair pulling. Trust in psychotherapy. Truth and legal issues. Truth in psychotherapy. Turbulence, aircraft. Types of psychological treatment. U. Unconscious, the. Unconscious blocks to forgiveness. Understanding preferable to knowledge. Undifferentiated somatoform disorder. Undoing, defense mechanism. Unfairness of the world. V. Valsalva maneuver for middle ear block. Veil of deception. Vibroacoustic disease. Victim anger/victim mentality. Victim mentality and spiritual healing. Violence, adolescent. Violence and anger. Violence, domestic and family. Violent entertainment. W. Want distinguished from desire. Water intoxication. Wellness. What does a clinical psychologist do? What is psychology? What's new on this website? Who made this website? Wit, defined. Withdrawal, substance related. Whitmer, Leitner. Workplace issues, IO psychology. X. Xenophobia. List of psychology topics 3. Neuropsychology. The neuron. The action potential. Neurotransmitters. The central nervous system. Images of the brain. The emotional nervous system. The basal ganglia. The cerebrum. The lobes. Methods. Qualitative methods. Descriptive statistics. Correlation. Experiments. Sensation and perception. The senses. Pain. Perception. Emotion and motivation. Emotion. Motivation. Hunger and eating disorders. Sleep. Sexuality. Sexual orientation. Love. Learning and memory. Learning. Memory. Pandemonium. Language. Language development. Language origins. Nature and nurture. Genetics. Human evolution. Race. Sociobiology. Culture. Psychosocial history of the human species. Intelligence. Development. Fetal development. Infancy. Childhood. Adolescence. Psychological problems of childhood. Piaget, cognitive development. Moral development. Erikson, psychosocial development. Aging. Personality. Sigmund Freud. Trait theories of personality. Individual, existential, and humanist psychology. Psychological disorders. The biosocial theory of neurosis. Anxiety disorders. Mood disorders. Schizophrenia. Personality disorders. Dissociative disorders. Somatoform disorders. Therapy. Psychotherapy. Drug and other medical therapies. Psychology at the library. Find magazines in a periodical directory at the library. General psychology / self-help type books for the Dewey Decimal System are at #150-159, the most popular mainstream type books at #155-159 of the library. 150 Psychology. 152 Physiological and Experimental. 153 Intelligence. 154 Subconscious States. 155 Differential and Genetic Psychology. 156 Comparative Psychology. 157 Abnormal and Clinical Psychology. 158 Applied Psychology, the self-help junk. 159 Miscellaneous. The Library of Congress classification outline for psychology is B. Philosophy, General. BC, Logic. BD, Speculative Philosophy. BF Psychology. 1 to 990, Psychology. 1001 to 1389, Parapsychology. 1404 to 2055, Occult Sciences. BH, Aesthetics. BJ, Ethics. 1 to 1725, Ethics. 1801 to 2195, Social Usages. Etiquette. BL, Religions. Mythology. Rationalism. BM, Judaism. BP, Islam. Baha'i Faith. Theosophy. BQ, Buddhism. BR, Christianity. BS, the Bible. BT, Doctrinal Theology. BV, Practical Theology. BX, Christian Denominations. BF. 1 to 990, Psychology. 38 to 64, Philosophy. Relation to other topics. 173 to 175.5, Psychoanalysis. 176 to 176.5, Psychological tests and testing. 180 to 198.7, experimental psychology. 203, Gestalt psychology. 207 to 209, psychotropic drugs and other substances. 231 to 299, sensation. Aesthesiology. 309 to 499, consciousness. Cognition, including learning, attention, comprehension, memory, imagination, genius, intelligence, thought and thinking, psycholinguistics, mental fatigue. 501 to 505, motivation. 511 to 593, affection. Feeling. Emotion. 608 to 635, will. Volition. Choice. Control. 636 to 637, applied psychology. 638 to 648, new thought. Menticulture, etc. 660 to 685, comparative psychology. Animal and human psychology. 692 to 692.5, psychology of sex. Sexual behavior. 697 to 697.5, differential psychology. Individuality. Self. 698 to 698.9, personality. 699 to 711, genetic psychology. 712 to 724.85, developmental psychology, including infant psychology, child psychology, adolescence, adulthood. 795 to 839, temperament. Character. 839.8 to 885, physiognomy. Phrenology. 889 to 905, graphology. Study of handwriting. 908 to 940, the hand. Palmistry. 1001-1389, parapsychology. 1001 to 1045, psychic research. Psychology of the conscious. 1048 to 1108, hallucinations. Sleep. Dreaming. Visions. 1111 to 1156, hypnotism. Suggestion. Mesmerism. Subliminal projection. 1161 to 1171, telepathy. Mind reading. Thought transference. 1228 to 1389, spiritualism, including mediumship, spirit messages, clairvoyance. 1404-2055, occult sciences. 1444 to 1486, ghosts. Apparitions. Hauntings. 1501 to 1562, demonology. Satanism. Possession. 1562.5-1584. Witchcraft. 1585 to 1623, magic. Hermetics. Necromancy. 1651 to 1729, astrology. 1745 to 1779, oracles. Sibyls. Divinations. 1783 to 1815, seers. Prophets. Prophecies. 1845 to 1891, fortune-telling. 2050 to 2055, human-alien encounters. Contact between humans and extraterrestrials. Chapter 2. Types of psychology/subfields of psychology. Subfields of psychology. 1. The first division of psychology is research, teaching, therapy. There are many formal subfields of psychology as follows: abnormal psychology, anomalistic, behavioral genetics, biological psychology, child psychology, Clinical psychology, cognitive psychology, community psychology, comparative psychology, consulting, counseling psychology, developmental psychology, educational psychology, environmental psychology, evolutionary psychology, experimental psychology, forensic psychology, geropsychology, health psychology, industrial/organizational psychology, legal psychology, media psychology, neuropsychology, occupational health, parapsychology, personality psychology, positive psychology, psychology of religion, psychology of women, psychometrics and quantitative psychology, quantitative, rehabilitation psychology, rehabilitation, religion/spirituality, school psychology, social psychology, sports psychology. Abnormal psychology is the study and treatment of people who feel messed up and people who act weird. Anomalistic psychology is the study of human experience connected with the paranormal, trying to prove it's all in the mind. British psychologist Chris French set up the Anomalistic Psychology Research Unit, APRU, in the Department of Psychology at Goldsmiths, University of London. Behavioral genetics: how much of you is determined by genetics? Psychiatric genetics is a subfield of behavioral genetics. Biological psychology, neuropsychology, physiological psychology, behavioral neuroscience, and cognitive neuroscience all look at the organic body to see how it affects what we do. Neuropsychology tries to see how the brain affects behavior. Cognitive neuroscientists often use neuroimaging tools to observe which areas of the brain are active during a particular task. Clinical psychology is the study and application of psychology to help mentally ill people. Cognitive psychology studies the mental process. Community psychology deals with the relationships of people to communities and society. Comparative psychology refers to the study of animals. Consulting psychology is helping individuals, groups, and organizations. Counseling psychology, talking to people to help them with problems. Developmental psychology, the development of the human mind through the lifespan. Educational psychology is the study of how people learn. Environmental psychology, humans and their surroundings. Evolutionary psychology, the evolutionary roots of mental and behavioral patterns. Forensic psychology, forensic psychologists are appointed by the court or hired by attorneys to evaluate defendants. Health psychology, health, illness, and healthcare. Industrial and organizational psychology, IO, applies psychological concepts and methods to the workplace. Legal psychology, jury decision-making, eyewitness memory, etc. Media psychology. Occupational health psychology. Personality psychology. Quantitative psychology, mathematical and statistical modeling in psychological research. Psychology of religion and spirituality is the psychological study of religious and spiritual experiences. School psychology combines principles from educational psychology and clinical psychology to understand students with learning disabilities. Social psychology is the study of social behavior. Subfields of psychology 2. Abnormal psychology is the study of abnormal behavior, mental disorders and psychopathology. Biological psychology, aka biopsychology, studies how biological processes and hormones influence the mind and behavior. Clinical psychology focuses on the assessment, diagnosis, and treatment of mental disorders. Clinical neuropsychologists help brain-injured people resume productive lives. Cognitive psychology is the study of human thought with topics such as attention, memory, perception, problem-solving, and language acquisition. Community psychologists help with problems in a neighborhood. Comparative psychology is the study of animal behavior. Counseling psychologists advise people on how to deal with problems of everyday living. Developmental psychology looks at human growth and development over the lifespan. Developmental psychologists study the psychological development of the human being throughout life. Educational psychologists concentrate on teaching and learning. Engineering psychologists conduct research on how people work best with machines. They are often known as human factors specialists. Environmental psychologists study person-environment interactions. Evolutionary psychologists. Experimental or research psychologists do experiments in labs. Forensic psychology is focused on using psychological principles in the criminal justice system. Forensic psychologists work with criminal justice. Geropsychologists, aging. Health psychologists study how patients handle illness. Human factors researchers study the human/machine interface. They help make machines user-friendly. Industrial/organizational, IO, psychologists apply psychological principles and research methods to the workplace. Neuropsychologists and behavioral neuropsychologists explore the relationships between the brain and behavior. Personality psychology focuses on how personality develops as well as the patterns of thoughts and characteristics that make each individual unique. Physiological psychologists study the physiological cues of behavior, example how brain cells function, and behavioral changes as a function of drug use. Psychology teachers teach psychology in academic institutions. Quantitative and measurement psychologists focus on methods and techniques for designing experiments and analyzing psychological data. Rehabilitation psychologists work with stroke and accident victims, people with mental retardation and those with developmental disabilities. School psychologists help children, adolescents, and families in schools. Social psychologists study how a person is shaped by interactions with other people. Sport psychologists help athletes. Psychology subfield websites. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/subfields_of_psychology. verywell.com/subfields-of-psychology-2795598. ohio.edu/zanesville/degrees/subfields.cfm. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology #clinical psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology #cognitive psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology #counseling psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology #developmental psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology experimental psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology health psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology industrial/organizational psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology neuropsychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology quantitative psychologists. colfa.utah.edu/psychology/subfields_of_psychology social psychologists. Chapter 3. Websites for about 20 psychology subfields. Abnormal psychology websites. mentalhealth.com/p20-grp.html, 56 most commonly diagnosed abnormal psychology syndromes. ccvillage.buffalo.edu/abpsy, abnormal psychology lecture notes healthyplace.com/site/disorders_list.asp, adult symptoms of various mental health disorders. purgatory.net/merit/index.htm, beginner's guide to abnormal psychology. behavenet.com/capsule/disorders/DSM-4 classify-cation.htm, DSM-4 and DSM-4T are diagnostic categories. apa.org/journal/abn.html, Journal of Abnormal Psychology. etext.lib.virginia.edu/toc/modng/public/abnpseq.html, Journal of Abnormal Psychology. Old articles from 1913 to 1915. allydog.com/quizzes/abnormalquiz.asp, online quiz about abnormal behavior. angelfire.com/in/psychdef, psychiatric definitions. Animal psychology websites. wagentrain.com/oc, an animal trainer's guide to operant and classical conditioning. indiana.edu/animal, IU Center for the Integrative Study of Animal Behavior. psych.ucsb.edu/research/CEP, Center for Evolutionary Psychology. apa.org/division/div6, Behavioral Neuroscience and Comparative Psychology Division 6 of the APA. faculty.washington.edu/choodler/morbi.html, Comparative Neuroanatomy. Firefly.org, Firefly issues relating to why firefly populations are disappearing and how to help them. pigeon.psych26/history.htm, Important scientists in the early development of comparative cognition. apa.org/science/animal2.html, Research with animals in psychology. Behavioral psychology websites. wagentrain.com/oc, an animal trainer's guide to operant and classical conditioning. Behavior.net. behavior-analyst-online.org, Behavior Analyst Online. coedu.usf.edu/behavior/bears.htm, Behavior Analysis Resources. psich.org/pub/article/article_37.asp, Emergence and Rational Behaviorism. psychclassics.urq.ca/urki/pavlov.htm, The Method of Pavlov, in Animal Psychology. uwc.edu/opera-anticon, Operant Conditioning Interactive Web Tutorial. jsu.edu/psychology/sqab.html, Society for Quantitative Analyses of Behavior, SQAB. paula.com/positivetraining.htm, What is positive reinforcement training? Community Psychology Info. Community psychology is the idea of mental health clinics in the neighborhood like medical clinics. Go there to talk if you feel like you need to. socialpsychology.org/community.htm, Community Psychology. cmmtpsych.net, Community PsychNet. communitypsychology.net/cmmtpsych.html, Community Psychology, what is it? communitypsychology.net. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/community_psychology. ccsu.edu/page.cfm?p=2141, Community Psychology, The Career for Champions, Psy-Chi article. gradschools.com/search-program/community-psychology, Community Psychology Graduate School Programs. Community Psychology websites outside the United States. Comunitaria.cl, Comunitaria, Community Psychology Portal from Chile. compsy.org.uk, Community Psychology in the UK, bringing society to psychology. groups.psychology.org.au/ccom, College of Community Psychologists, Australian Psychological Society. psychology.org.nz/icompa, Institute of Community Psychology, New Zealand Psychological Society. cpa.ca/about-cpa/cpa section/community psychology, section on community psychology, Canadian Psychological Association. psyhq.ie/members_sig_psychology &social.asp, Psychology and Social Issues Psychological Society of Ireland. Consciousness websites. zynet.co.uk/imprint/chalmers.html, David Chalmers's paper in the online Journal of Consciousness Studies. csp.org/chrestomathy, entheogen crestomathy information. zynet.co.uk/imprint/hardprov.html, Journal of Consciousness Studies. Jagadguruzidhsvarupananda.net, Wisdom from Science of Identity Foundation. ling.ucsc.edu/Chalmers/mind.html, online papers on consciousness. psyche.cs.monash.edu.au Psyche, Journal for the Study of Consciousness. gemstate.net/susan/linksco.nsc.htm, Studies of Consciousness websites. hope.edu/academic/psychology/myers-text/esp/esp.html, Extrasensory Perception. psych.st-and.ac.uk/research/perception_lab Perception Lab. Consumer Psychology websites. mycp.org, Society for Consumer Psychology, APA Division 23. elsevier.com/wps/find/journal description.cws_home/713950/description, Journal of Consumer Psychology, SCP Journal. sciencedaily.com/news/mind_brain/consumer_behavior, Consumer Behavior News. psychologytoday.com/basics/consumer-behavior, Consumer Behavior Guide, Psychology Today. consumerpsychologist.com, Consumer Behavior, The Psychology of Marketing. theconsumerpsychologist.com, The Consumer Psychologist, blog. Developmental psychology websites, How People Develop Across the Lifespan. apadiv20.php.ufl.edu/newslet.htm, Adult Development and Aging Newsletter from Division 20 of the APA, Adult Development and Aging. hcoa.org/aging/intro.htm, Aging 101. apa.org/ppo/issues/aging.html, Aging, Current Events and Legislative News. The APA's Aging-Related Agenda. baby-place.com/index.php, Baby Place. childdevelopmentinfo.com/development, Child Development Guide devsci.org. personal.psu.edu/nxd10/family3.htm, Family Relations. psichi.org. apa.org/ppo/issues/aging psychfact03.html, Psychology and its contributions to the health and well-being of older adults. nimh.nih.gov/publicat/bash-ap2.cfm, Vulnerability and Resilience. Economic Psychology. leupihana.de/institute/lwenilab.html, Europe. Environmental Psychology websites. apa.org/division/div34, Society for Environmental, Population and Conservation Psychology. iaps-association.org, International Association for People-Environment Studies. edra.org, Environmental Design Research Association. ecopsychology.org, International Community for Ecopsychology. eab.sagepub.com, Environment and Behavior, APA Division 34 Journal. elsevier.com/wps/find/journal description.cws_home/622872/description, Journal of Environmental Psychology. escholarship.org/uc/uklalib_egj, Electronic Green Journal. Experimental Psychology websites. apa.org/division/div3, Experimental Psychology, APA Division 3. psych.colorado.edu. psych.hanover.edu/research/exponnet.html, Psychological Research on the Net. apa.org/science/leadership/bsa/internet/internet-report.pdf, Psychological Research Online, APA Report. psych.uni.edu/psychexps, psychexps, participate or download data. wexlab.eu/webxpscilab.html, Web Experimental Psychology Lab. A list of fashion psychology websites at blog.feedspot.com/fashion_psychology_blogs. editor.com/category/psychology. fashion-psychology.com/all posts. fashionistspsychology.com. psychology.fashion/home. thefashionpsychology.com. tirulery.com/blog. Forensic psychology websites. forensic-psychology.org, American College of Forensic Psychology. abfp.com, American Board of Forensic Psychology. ifp-testing.com, Institute of Forensic Psychology. aafs.org, American Academy of Forensic Sciences. acfei.com, American College of Forensic Examiners. i-psy.com, Center for Investigative Psychology. all-about-forensic-psychology.com. forensic-science.com/faq_career.html, careers in the forensic sciences. corpus-deli.com/prof_archives.html, criminal profiling. forensic-psych.com. forensic-science.com. groups.yahoo.com/group/crime-psych, psychology and crime Yahoo discussion group on the topic. Health psychology/behavioral medicine websites. health-psych.org, Health Psychology, APA Division 38. who.in/n, World Health Organization, United Nations Agency. cdc.gov, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, United States. cancercontrol.cancer.gov, National Cancer Institute, Cancer Control and Population Sciences. healthypsychologycenter.com. mindpub.com. behavenet.com. psychologyforundme.com. uri.edu/research/cprc, Cancer Prevention Research Center, University of Rhode Island. Behavior change project aimed at lifestyle factors like smoking, substance abuse. health-psychology.org.uk, Division of Health Psychology, a division of the British Psychological Society, BPS. sbm.org/ebm/whatiscbbm.html, Evidence-Based Behavioral Medicine. apa.org/journal/he.html, Health Psychology APA Journal. healthfinder.gov, Healthfinder and a gateway consumer health information website. healthpsych.com. cccolumbia.edu/80/cu/healthwise, Healthwise searchable database. healthpsych.com, Health Psychology and Rehabilitation website. psich.org. med-psych.net, medpsych where medicine and psychiatry overlap. vanderbilt.edu/ans/psychology/health_psychology. apa.org/journal/he, Journal of Health Psychology. apa.org/journal/ohp, Occupational Health Psychology. .psychology.com. drgenet.com, Holistic Health and Psychology. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/associated_psychological_health_services. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/health_psychology. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/international_society_of_critical_health_psychology, International Society of Critical Health Psychology. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/journal_of_health_psychology. healthpsych.com. healthpsych.org. healthpsychology.ch. healthpsychology.net. healthpsychology.org.uk. healthpsychologyservices.com. healthresearch.as.ua.edu, Health Psychology Research Online, Department of Psychology, the University of Alabama. hpadd.com, Health Psychology and ADD Institute. Mental Health Dead website, try.com/ourbrands. psychcentral.com/resources. psychdirectory.com. psychlinks.ca. psychenetuck.com. psychology.org/links. sciammind.com. sciencedirect.com/science/journal/027866133. socialpsychology.org/health.htm. umshp.org/hp, Department of Health Psychology, University of Missouri Columbia. usp.edu/majors/psychology.shtml, Health Psychology at University of the Sciences in Philadelphia. vanderbilt.edu/ans/psychology/health_psychology. Humor therapy. rd.com/jokes, Reader's Digest Laugh Bank. aath.org, American Association for Therapeutic Humor. Internet psychology websites. selfhelpmagazine.com/article/internet/index.shtml, Internet Psychology Index. Excellent links. psychcentral.com/resources/psychology/internet_psychology, Psych Central's Internet Psychology links. gethelp.com. Peace Psychology websites. apa.org/about/division/div48.aspx. Division 48, Society for the Study of Peace, Conflict, and Violence. peacepsychology.org. peacepsych.org/about.htm. clarku.edu/peacepsychology, Society for the Study of Peace, Conflict, and Violence, APA Division 48. psysar.org, Psychologists for Social Responsibility, Building Cultures of Peace. Political psychology websites. polici.umn.edu/polypseq/about/projects.html, Center for Political Psychology. polici.umn.edu/polypseq/about/index.html, Center for Political Psychology. isbp.org, International Society for Political Psychology. polici.umn.edu/polypseq/journal, Political Psychology, the journal. polici.umn.edu/polypseq/links/index.html, Political Psychology links. radsinet.org, Radical Psychology Network. Psycholinguistic websites. cslu.ogi.edu, Center for Spoken Language Understanding, Oregon Graduate Institute of Science and Technology Research Center. pshichi.org/pub/article/article_121.aspx, Covered Communication in Classrooms, Clinics. june29.com/hlp, Human Languages page and a comprehensive catalog of language-related Internet resources. primatesworld.com/cocolivchat.html, Internet chat with Coco the gorilla. psychology.physique.com.tr/psycholinguistics/crane.html, Language and Brain. psychology.physique.com.tr/psycholinguistics/men.html, Neurolinguistics LOCU2s.ucr.edu, Psycholinguistics and Computational Cognition Lab at UCal Riverside. ilab.msu.edu, Psycholinguistics and Visual Cognition Library. pbs.org/wgbh/nova/transcript/2112gchild.html, Secret of the Wild Child. Full transcript of a Nova documentary about Jeannie, a child raised without language and psychologists' attempts to help her. psychology.physique.com.tr/psycholinguistics/fromkin.html, Slips of the Tongue, Windows to the Mind. psychology.physique.com.tr/psycholinguistics/fromkin.html. pshichi.org/pdf/pinker.pdf, Words and Rules. Psychology and Religion websites. psyche.gr/english.htm, Nikita's Kafkao's Psychology and Religion site. Psychology of Men websites. Division51.org, Society for the Psychological Study of Men and Masculinity. Menweb.org, Menweb, a virtual library of links on men's issues. Menstudies.org, American Men's Studies Association. Manic-depression.nimh.nih.gov, Real Men, Real Depression. Menshealthnetwork.org, Men's Health Network. Androblog.com. apa.org/journal/men.html. apa.org/journal/men/description.html. apa.org/journal/men/papercall.html. bc.com/id/8914760, doubt a man's masculinity and he'll get macho. Boundless.org/2000/features/0000195.html, subversive masculinity. braindance.us/mp.htm. bulletinflash.com/interview/05/03/int050 html, anxious masculinity. catchhimandkeyfim.com, inside a boyfriend's mind. christinou.net/pages/masculinity.html. colonsworld.com/new_masculinity/index.php. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/macho. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/masculinity. godspy.com/reviews/the-fireemnen-themeaninggoff masculinity. InsideAGuy'sMind.com. masculinedreams.blogspot.com. mensbibelio.xyonline.net/hetero.html. menstuff.org. menweb.org. psychologymatters.org/mendepressed.html, depression. themencenter.com. traumacenter.org/masculinity.pdf. Social psychology websites. socialpsychology.org. twitter.com/psychnews. facebook.com/socialpsychology. socialpsychology.org/rss/news.htm. socialpsychology.org/texts.htm. departmenttest.washington.edu/iat/index.html, implicit association test. in-mind.org/index.php, in mind, the inquisitive mind, magazine. nih.nih.gov/publicat/bashap5.cfm, social influence and social cognition online chapter. socialpsychology.org/community.htm, community psychology. sca.kulaanth.org, cultural anthropology. apa49.org, group psychology and group psychotherapy. asiansocealpsych.org, Asian Association of Social Psychology. asiansocealpsych.org/conferences, AASP Biennial Conference was held in Cebu, Philippines. bps.org.uk/networks-and-hyphen-microsite/social-psychology-section, British Psychological Society Social Psychology Section. bps.org.uk/networks-community/member-microsite/social-psychology-section/annual-C Social Psychology Annual Conference. EASP.eu, European Association of Social Psychology. psychology.ucdavis.edu/lab/sherman/iscon, International Social Cognition Network. sasp.org.au, Society of Australasian Social Psychologists. sbm.org, Society of Behavioral Medicine. sesp.org, Society of Experimental Social Psychology. socialpersonality.ca, Canadian Psychological Association Social and Personality Section. sbsp.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology. sbssi.org, Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues. ssrc.msstate.edu/sssb, Society of Southeastern Social Psychologists. APA49.org, Group Psychology and Group Psychotherapy, APA Division 49. uiowa.edu/grpproc, Center for the Study of Group Processes, University of Iowa. rcgd.isr.umich.edu, Research Center for Group Dynamics, University of Michigan. socialpsychology.org/texts.htm #groups, textbooks related to group behavior, Social Psychology Network. socialpsychology.org/journals.htm #group, professional journals on organizational and group behavior, SPN. Dance therapy websites from dmoz-odp.org. admt.org.uk, the Association for Dance Movement Therapy UK, maintains a register of qualified dance movement therapists and represents its members in all professional negotiations within education, the NHS, and social services. Includes training information, a newsletter, how to become a member, and resources such as books. adtia.org, American Dance Therapy Association. double-mirror.tripod.com, Double Mirror, Drama and Therapy in Education, thesis written by Dr. Sandra Katz on drama therapy. Includes interviews with drama educators and techniques. ConnectIons.com, Connect Ions, treatment expertise in body confidence, mood disorders, and eating disorders. Continuing education courses available. Chapter 4. Some cool psychology topics. Body language / nonverbal communication. Center-for-nonverbal-studies.org, Center for Nonverbal Studies. helpguide.org/mental/eq6_nonverbal_communication.htm, The Power of Nonverbal Communication and Body Language. casrl.org/facial_expression.html, Facial Expression Resources page. nonverbal.ucsc.edu, Exploring Nonverbal Communication. springerlink.com/content/104925, Journal of Nonverbal Behavior. Cognitive dissonance info. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological term referring to a person having two or more contradictory thoughts or values at the same time and either being fine with it or having never thought their lives through enough to realize they are hypocrites living contradictory lives, which is no big deal because in my opinion every human being is a walking paradox of loose ideas which often oppose each other. The easiest example off the top of my head was a woman I saw on TV on one of them Real Housewives shows who claimed her first priority was God, yet she colored her hair, which to me is a sin against God's ideal of a woman being modest and virtuous. She lived in extreme material excess with 2 nannies, she didn't do anything that I could see that helps people, she didn't have a job, she lived off her husband, she was conscious about being very fashionable and even made a comment about how she had gained a few pounds and now had to dedicate herself to losing the weight, yet she called herself a Christian. Racists claim to hate people of different races but have no problem watching porn or hiring escorts with members of these races. Everybody is a hypocrite. Think about yourself. You think you're noble, warm-hearted, kind, and nice, but how do others see you? Crying psychology info. Crying gets psychobabble stuff out of you. It's a release of energy. independent.co.uk/life-style/health-features/how-crying-can-make-you-healthier-1009169.html, How Crying Can Make You Healthier. NewYorkTimes.com/2009/02/03/health/03mind.html, Crying as Catharsis. ScienceDaily.com/releases/2008/12/081217123831.htm, Cry Me a River, The Psychology of Crying. DailyStrength.org/treatments/crying. TheFreeDictionary.com/crying. Cults info. They say weak, lazy people don't join cults. They're too lazy. They can't be bothered. Highly motivated, energetic, ambitious people looking for something better do. They don't realize they're being manipulated at the beginning. They think they're bettering themselves. They control people through controlling their time and what they do. Limiting access to the outside world. Make the individual feel small by regressing him back to childhood in the guise of freedom therapy to help him, but it's really meant to weaken him and make him feel vulnerable. Use peer pressure and group psychology to help the individual conform. Overwhelm the individual with constant propaganda. Control his emotions. Watchman.org/indexmenu.htm, The Watchman Expositor, Index of Cults and Religions. CSJ.org, Cult Information Service, information about cults, cultic groups, and psychological manipulation. Heavensgate.com, Heaven's Gate, site of the Hale-Bopp suicide cult. CSJ.org, cults and psychological manipulation. X-cult.org, X-Cult Resource Center, information, organizations, and references. rickcross.com, cults and deprogramming, from cult expert Rick Ross. freedomofmind.com, Freedom of Mind Resource Center. totenTians.de/kmed/cults.htm. churchofreality.org/wisdom/cults. arcane-archive.org/religion/in-cults-in-unfamiliar-social-problem-1.php. rapidnet.com/jbeard/bdm/cult/newage.htm. watchman.org/cat95.htm, The Watchman Expositor, Index of Cults and Religions. cesner.org/testi/se_brainwashed.htm. cultnews.net. culteducation.com. independent.co.uk/news/uk/home-highfan-after-jehovah's-witnesses-followers-who-low-se their faith 821603.html. cultnews.com. rickcross.com/links.html. watchman.org/cat95.htm, Index of Cults and Religions. cultnews.net. spiritwatchdog.org, Watches Cults. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/recovery_from_cults. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/post-cult_trauma. apa.org, American Psychological Association x-cult.org. factnet.org. freedomofmind.com. howcultswork.com. mayhem.net/crime/cults1.html, cults. mk.net/mcf, mind control. rail.com, popular French UFO genetic cloning group. skeptic.com. spiritwatchdog.org, watches cults. totenTians.de/kmed/cults. transnet.org. csj.org/infosurvey_products/botel.htm. propaganda websites/mass manipulation websites. See my media book. worldpublicopinion.org, World Public Opinion, Program on International Policy Attitudes. norc.org, National Opinion Research Center, University of Chicago. norc.org/projects/general+social+survey.htm, General Social Survey, Tracking Social Change. Since 1972. issb.org, International Social Survey Program, over 40 countries. implicit.harvard.edu, How to Measure Implicit Attitudes, Harvard University. understandingprejudice.org/iat/faq.htm, FAQ on the Implicit Association Test. counterfactual.net, Counterfactual Research News, University of Illinois. influenceatwork.com, Influence at Work, The Psychology of Persuasion. as.wvu.edu/sbb/com221/primer.htm, a primer on persuasion and influence. Socialnorm.org, National Social Norms Institute. calvin.edu/academic/ca/gpa, Nazi and East German propaganda guide page. ushum.org/propaganda, State of Deception, the power of Nazi propaganda. propagandacritic.com, propaganda critic. Psychobiology/biocybernetics. Psychobiology/biocybernetics is the study of the organic brain and the electromagnetic pulses it gives off to try to map out human consciousness, to see if certain specific thoughts trigger universal physiological functions and places in the brain. Chapter 5. A Perception Guide. Visual Perception. VisionScience.com, Vision Science, comprehensive site on vision research. CVRL.org, Color and Vision Database. colormatters.com/antircolormatters.html, Color Matters. yourq.ca/I, The Joy of Visual Perception, a web book. webvision.med.utah.edu, WebVision, online text on the vertebrate retina. socsci.uci.edu/cogci/vision/yellow_dates.html, important dates in vision science. Auditory perception. ear.berkeley.edu, research in the hearing sciences. acousticalsociety.org, Acoustical Society of America. Illusions. echoc.co.uk/amusement/optical illusion/color perception/color pe reception.html, color perception illusions. optillusions.com, amazing optical illusions, several dozen to choose from. exploratorium.edu/seeing/exhibits, online exhibits, exploratorium exhibits. exploratorium.edu/exhibits/nf_exhibits, demonstrations. michaelbuck.de/ot, optical illusions and visual phenomena, several dozen. grand-illusions.com, grand illusions, optical illusions, scientific toys and visual magic. web.mit.edu/perci/gallery.html, perceptual illusions and tutorials, MIT Perceptual Science Group. philomel.com, musical illusions and paradoxes, a compact disc from Diana Deutsch. casrl.org/no_mask.html, the no mask effect, an illusion of facial expression perception. newscientist.com/article/dn17511-the-blind-the-vanishing-head-illusion.html, the blind spot and vanishing head illusion. Perception websites. hhmi.org/senses, seeing, hearing and smelling in the world. perceptionlab.com, facial perception research. perceptualscience.rutgers.edu, perceptual science laboratory. ispsychophysics.org, International Society for Psychophysics. comlab.ox.ac.uk/archive/images/3d.html, 3D and SERDS images. mambo.ucsc.edu/psl/fanel.html, facial analysis researchers and resources. exploratorium.edu/xref/phenomena/perception-.html, perceptual effects. web.mit.edu/synesthesia/www/synesthesia.html, synesthesia and the synesthetic experience. vern.com, Vern SERDS gallery and collection of single image, random dot, stereograms. vision.arc.nasa.gov/vision-science/vision-science.html, Vision Science. Chapter 6. Notable people of Psychobabble. Notable people of psychology websites. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_social_psychologists, list of social psychologists. webspace.ship.edu/cgbor, covers about 20 people, retired. His page may disappear at any time, if so try archive.org. Adleriansociety.co.uk, the Adlerian Society. Encyclopedia.com/doc/1e1-betelhe.html, Bettelheim, Bruno. pbs.org/wgbh/asso/databank/entries/dh05te.html, Binet, Alfred. albany.edu/cpr/brunswick/agon.html, Brunswick, Agon. albany.edu/cpr/Brunswick, the Brunswick Society. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/bert.htm, Bert, Sir Cyril. asdr.ua.edu/4000ws/calkins.html, Calkins, Mary Whitten. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/cattell.htm, Cattell, James McKean. pbs.org/wgbh/asso/databank/entries/bhchar.html, Charcot, Jean Martin. nursingworld.org/functional menu categories/about-a-na/honoring-. nurses/hall of fame/1976-1982/distal5530.aspx, Dix, Dorothea Lindy. indiana.edu/intell/ebbinghaus.shtml, Ebbinghaus, Herman. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Havelock_Ellis, Ellis, Havelock. webspace.ship.edu/cgbor/ericsson.html, Ericsson, Eric Hamburger. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/ericsson.htm, Ericsson, Eric. york.ac.uk/department/math/hist/stat/fechner_biog.htm, Fechner, Gustav Theodor. thecjc.org/pdf/af_biblio.pdf. Anna Freud Bibliography. pbs.org/wgbh/asso/databank/entries/bhfrom.html, from Reichmann, Frida. ithaca.edu/bain/gsh/gsh_bio.htm, Hall, Granville Stanley. distinguishedwomen.com/biographies/horny.html, Horny, Karen. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/hull.htm, Hull, Clark Leonard. des.emory.edu/mfp/james.html, James, William. ksi.cpsc.ucalgary.ca/pcp/kelly.html, Kelly, George Alexander. vatlin.chat.ru/Klein_biography_eng.htm, Klein, Melanie. melanie-klein-trust.org.uk, the Melanie Klein Trust. pccomundo.org/klein/bibliography-rafia-us.htm, Melanie Klein Bibliography. pigeon.psy.tufts.edu/psych26/kohler.htm, Kohler, Wolfgang. pbs.org/wgbh/asso/databank/entries/bhmasl.html, Maslow, Abraham. Maslow.com, official Abraham Maslow publications site. webspace.ship.edu/cgbor/may.html, May, Rollo. iep.utm.edu/m/mead.htm, Mead, George Herbert. brocu.ca/Mead Project, Mead Project. Britannica.com/ebcheck/topic/396844/George-Elias-Muller, M superscript 3ler. George Elias. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/munsterb.htm, Munsterberg, Hugo. nobel-prizes.org/nobel_prizes/medicine/laureate/1904/pavlov-bio.html, Pavlov, Ivan Petrovich. Gestalt.org/fritz.htm, Pearls, Frederick, Fritz. Webspace.chip.edu/cgbor/piaget.html, Piaget, Jean. Piaget.org, Jean Piaget Society. Archives jeanpiaget.ch, Jean Piaget Archives. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Inez_Beverly_Prosser, Prosser, Inez Beverly. Occultopedia.com/r/reich.htm, Reich, Wilhelm. phil.gu.se/fu/who.html, Rorschach, Herman. Rorschach.com, International Rorschach Society. Rorschach.org, Rorschach.org, promoting the Rorschach ink blot test. colonialhall.com/rush/rush.php, Rush, Benjamin. etc. web.princeton.edu/campus www/companion/rush_benjamin.html, Rush, Benjamin. pbs.org/wgbh/aso/databank/entries/bhskin.html, Skinner, Burris Frederick. bfskinner.org, bf. Skinner Foundation. indiana.edu/tilde/intll/t-erman.shtml, Terman, Lewis Madison. bookrags.com/biography/Lewis-Madison-t-Erman, Terman, Lewis Madison. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/thorndike.htm, Thorndike, Edward Lee. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Thurston, Thurston, Louis Leon. indiana.edu/%7intel/titchener.shtml, Titchener, Edward Bradford. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/web/history/t-olman.htm, Tolman, Edward Chase. groups.dcs.st-and.ac.uk/history/mathematician/helmholtz.html, von Helmholtz. Herman. massey.ac.nz/tilde-alok/virtual/project2.htm, Vygotsky, Lev Semenovich. facweb.furman.edu/tilde-einstein/watson/watson1.htm, Watson, John Broadus. brynmauer.edu/academic/psych/r-wozniak/watson.html, Watson, John Broadus. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Max_Wordheimer, Wordheimer, Max. indiana.edu/tilde-intll/woundt.shtml, Wund, Wilhelm. John Dewey websites. utm.edu/research/iep/d/dewey.htm, Dewey, John. suc.edu/tilde-Dewey-CTR, Center for Dewey Studies. Dewey.pragmatism.org, John Dewey links. infed.org/thinkers/et-dewey.htm, John Dewey and his creed. Sigmund Freud websites. webspace.chip.edu/cgbor/freud.html, Freud, Sigmund. victorianweb.org/science/freud, The Victorian Web. pbs.org/wgbh/aso/mytheory/freud/menu.html, Who is the real Freud? Freud-museum.at, Sigmund Freud Museum, Vienna. freud.org.uk, Freud Museum of London. loc.gov/exhibits/Freud, Sigmund Freud, Conflict and Culture. Carl Jung websites. iloveyouLove.com/psychology/Jung/Jung-archetypes.htm, Carl Jung's Archetypes. IAAP.org, International Association for Analytical Psychology. webspace.chip.edu/cgbor/Jung.html, Jung, Carl. muskingum.edu/tilde/psych/sci web/history/jung.htm, Jung, Carl. cgjungpage.org, the CJ. Jung page. Chapter 7. History of Psychology. History of Psychology websites. historyofpsych.org, Society for the History of Psychology, Division 26 of the APA. humansciences.org/HPP, History and Philosophy Section, Canadian Psychology Association. academic.udayton.edu/gregelvers/hop, the History of Psychology website. allydog.com/quizzes/historyquiz.html, take a history of psychology quiz. allpsych.com/timeline.html, history of psychology, 387 BC to present. apa.org/archives, archives of the American Psychological Association lists of documents, photographs, oral histories in the APA archives. barnard.columbia.edu/psych/museum/b_museum.html, history of psychology collection Barnard College. barnard.edu/psych/b_museum.html, Barnard College Early Apparatus Collection. behavenet.com/capsule/people/people.htm, notable figures in behavioral healthcare Aceachable database. chss.montclair.edu/psychology/museum/museum.html, Museum of the History of Psychological Instrumentation. chss.montclair.edu/psychology/museum/museum.html, Museum of the History of Psych Instrumentation, Montclair State University. classics.mit.edu, the MIT Classics Library. countway.med.harvard.edu/raribooks/exhibits/talking_heads, Talking Heads Phrenology at the Countway Library of Medicine. emory.edu/education/mfp/james.html, James, the William James page. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_social_psychologists, Wikipedia list of social psychologists. etext.lib.virginia.edu/toc/modeng/public/abnpseek.html, Journal of Abnormal Psychology, 1915 to 1916 issue. Gestalt.org/oral.htm, Oral History of Gestalt Therapy. hbs.deakin.edu.au/gagepage/pgage.htm, Phineas Gage Information Page bc.edu/bc_org/avp/cas/fnart/phrenology/default.html, Phrenology and the Fine Arts. human-nature.com/mba/mba1.html, Mind, Brain, and Adaptation in the 19th Century. indiana.edu/tilde-intell, History of Intelligence Theory and Testing, Indiana University. learner.org/discovering psychology/history/history_nonflash.html, History of Psychology. mtn.org/quack/devices/psychist.htm, History of Phrenology and the Psychograph and more phrenology links. museumoflondon.org.uk/archives/exhibits/bedlam/f_bed.htm, Bedlam, exhibition from the Museum of London. muskingum.edu/tilde-psych/sci web/history.htm, History of Psychology Archives, Muskingum College. muskingum.edu/tilde-psych/sci web/history/cognitive.htm, History of Cognitive Psychology. nitaxs.com/people/aca3/lpm.htm, Lifshitz Psychology Museum hti.umich.edu/m/mogarp, Making of America Original Books and Journals. pages.britishlibrary.net/phrenology, History of Phrenology on the web. psych.athabasca.ca/html/aupr/history.shtml, History of Psychology Resources. psych.utoronto.ca/museum/welcome.html, Brass Instrument Psychology at the University of Toronto. psych.urq.ca/org/APA26, Division 26 at APA. psych.urq.ca/org/APA26/pastpres.htm, Past Division 26 Presidents. psych.urq.ca/org/chiron, History of Behavioral Sciences Society. psych.urq.ca/org/resource.htm, History and Philosophy of Psychology Web Resources. psych.urq.ca/org/resource.htm, History and Theory of Psychology ePrint Archive. psych.urq.ca/org/resource.htm, History Resources. psychclassics.urq.ca, Classics in the History of Psychology. psychclassics.urq.ca, History of Psychology Texts. serendip.brynmawr.edu/mind/before.html, Psychology before William James. serendip.brynmawr.edu/mind/table.html, Mind and Body, René Descartes to William James, by Robert Wozniak. serendip.brynmawr.edu/mind/table.html, Mind and Body, René Descartes to William James. socialpsychology.org/social-figures.htm, Historical Figures in Social Psychology. sbssitimeline.org, Timeline of the Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues. stress.org/mementos.htm, Reminiscences of Hansilyi and the Birth of Stress by Paul J. Ross, MD, FACP. time.com/time/magazine/article/09171 989,992 00.html, Cursed by Eugenics, Time Magazine. uakron.edu/ahp, Archives of the History of American Psychology, The University of Akron. uakron.edu/chp, Center for the History of Psychology, University of Akron. ucmp.berkeley.edu/history/evolution.html, Evolution, Theory and History. uic.edu/departments/mcne/founders, Founders of Neurology Photography Exhibit. users.wpi.edu/hisci, History of Psychology. victorianweb.org/science, Victorian Science, an overview. vl-site.org/psychology/notables.html, History of Psychology, www Virtual Library. webspace.ship.edu/cgbor/lobotomy.html, A Brief History of the Lobotomy, Shippensburg University. winja.com/personality/theorists.html, Personality and Consciousness. History of Psychology Societies and Journals. ishen.org, International Society for the History of the Neurosciences. hssonline.org, History of Science Society. apa.org/pub/journal/hop, History of Psychology, Society for the History of Psychology. sagepub.co.uk/journals/proddesk.nav?prod_journal 200813, History of the Human Sciences. cpa.ca/about/cpa/cpa section/history and philosophy/history and philosophy publications. interscience.wiley.com/cgi-bin/jhome/31970, Journal of the History of the Behavioral Sciences. 10df.co.uk/journal/title/0964704x.asp, Journal of the History of the Neurosciences.